Hello, everyone. Welcome to Pairfect, Daily Tribune's digital show that takes you up close and personal with trailblazers and winners in their field. I am Dinah Ventura. So today we'll talk about seafood and sustainability. And joining us today are three leading names associated with the sea. So there's Marco and Maurice Qua of Cold Storage, a major supplier of seafood around the country, and Ana Oposa, co-founder of Save Philippine Seas. So welcome to our show. Welcome to Perfect.
Hi, thank you for having us.
So it's so nice to have all three of you in the show. So something very exciting we're expecting to be launched soon, right? Um, an initiative that the that you all came up with. So let's talk about that first. What motivated Cold Storage Seafood to partner with Save Philippine Seas for the Gen C Dive into Sustainability campaign?
So basically, we've been in the business for almost 30 years,
Mm-hmm.
and our
Mm-hmm.
goal is basically we want the next generation to be able to enjoy what we were enjoying for the past 30 years. So we partnered with Save Philippine Seas because they're basically the expert when it comes to sustainability, and we want to
Mm-hmm.
learn more from them.
Mm-hmm. Okay. I've been reading up on both cold storage and SPS, and it seems that you all started out pretty young in what you're doing right now. So, and your commitment is to bring in the youth to to share in your advocacy. Is that, am I right in assuming that?
So
Mm-hmm.
I co-founded City Philippine Seas when I was 23 years old.
Mm-hmm.
So I was very young and inexperienced, and it's the time where you want to learn more about different things that you're interested in.
Mm-hmm.
And it's also when you can easily be influenced by certain factors. So I think it's like such a great time to engage young
Mm-hmm.
people at around that age because
Yes.
we were also when we started in our respective field.
So, did you guys meet when you started out with this Gen C initiative, or you knew each other before?
No, it,
Yeah. So basically, we reach out to them because I think they're the leading name when it comes to sustainability. And we see their projects and we were fascinated and we wanted to learn a lot more from them. Yeah.
So, I'm just curious because there seems to be like a disconnect on at first glance. Like, so you're distributing seafood, and Anna is saving the sea. So, how does that jive? How does that work together?
there's actually no disconnect at all because
Mm-hmm.
if we want to have seafood for the years to come, especially us Filipinos, we live on seafood. Seafood is part of our cuisine. You cannot actually separate them from each other because if we don't save the Philippine seas, then we won't have fish or we won't have seafood in the future.
Right. So, tell us more about that partnership. So, what is it about? How do
Well,
you?
now
Mm,
and to answer your question earlier, we
mm-hmm,
actually just met in person today, so that
mm-hmm.
was super exciting. But we've
Wow.
been in contact online for the past few weeks,
I
getting to know
see.
each other's organizations
Mm,
and initiatives. But for us now, because the name is Gen C,
mm-hmm.
we want to engage young people
Right.
in this advocacy. So we want to teach young people, engage them,
Mm-hmm,
put them through experiential learning activities so that they can learn and
mm-hmm.
appreciate our marine resources.
Yes, but how will it work? So, what's the significance of partnering with a seafood supply company like Cold Storage for marine conservation efforts? How will that work? That Gen C advocacy.
Yeah, so basically, what we learned from them, we'll be working with our suppliers and our customers. We'll be implementing it on our production line and
Okay.
everything. So at least, for example, very one of the basic things is traceability. We know where the fish we eat comes from.
Mm-hmm.
We know that we're partnering with responsible trading partners,
Mm-hmm.
supermarkets who are aligned with our values. So the small things, these things, they add up. Like so, all these things add up to so that there will be fish for generations to come.
Yes, that's important. Um, Cold storage. I'm sure like a lot of people are familiar with the company, but not so much about the people who are behind it. So it's a family business, right? So you, Marco, and Morris are brothers running this now, but it was started by your father. Could you give us a little bit of background on that?
So basically, my father started it with exporting shrimp to Japan and US for 20 years ago. So
Mm-hmm.
for around 20 years, we've been steadily exporting shrimp. But right
Mm-hmm.
now, we're uh, 2096, 96, we started cold storage, which is importing seafood
Mm-hmm.
for the local market.
Okay. So, speaking of supplying the market, could you elaborate more on the specific initiatives or actions that Cold Storage Seafood plans to undertake as part of this collaboration with Save Philippine Seas?
So, for example, one of the small things that we do, our packaging, it
Okay.
has three functions: to inform, and
Mm-hmm.
to transport, and to serve quality.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, that's it. Nothing fancy. What
Mm-hmm.
we want, we're slowly adapting, we're still slowly adjusting. We want to make sure that our packaging doesn't harm the environment as much as possible, and it has to be practical as well. Like we were having a discussion earlier with Anna. She was telling us that okay, these are actually practical um, applications and which are not feasible because we have more experiences when
Mm-hmm.
it comes to these things.
Mm-hmm.
So in that way, we're learning from them as well.
Yeah, I was curious. Like you were collaborating, you said online at first. So were there some things that you learned about each other uh, along the way in planning this collaboration?
Well, like now we've been when we met, it felt like we've known each other because we just like sat and started talking because we
Uh,
have this shared passion for the sea and for seafood. And then I think for us in say Philippine Seas, our expertise or our experience is more on like waste management and circular economy and climate change. And
mhm,
we've never actually pursued we've never like dived into with the seafood discussion, and that's what makes us excited. It's like we're not experts in this field, so we're learning so much. Like they were telling me about the supply chain and the regulations and how they
mhm.
adapt to it. So that for us is the exciting part, and hopefully. One of the things we also want to do is create educational materials about sustainable seafood. So that's where we can learn from them.
Okay. What role do you believe education and community building play in fostering a sustainable approach to ocean conservation, Anna?
That's a great question, and I
Mm-hmm.
think it's the main building block of saving the Philippine seas because you cannot protect what you do not know, and you
Yes.
cannot love what you do not know.
Mm-hmm.
So the first step is really awareness, education, and then building that appreciation in
Mm-hmm.
communities. And when you say communities, it can be any community. It doesn't have to be a coastal community or a fishing community, but even within schools, in residential areas, they're all like sub communities, and all of us have a role to play
Mm-hmm.
in protecting and conserving our seas.
I see. And how do you envision the Gen Z campaign to contribute in raising awareness about sustainable seafood consumption among consumers? This one for Marco naman.
I think, for example, we're partnering with a lot of restaurants, which we already supply.
Mm-hmm.
We're hoping to get them on board with our campaign and our values. So at least, the more people who are involved, the better it is for this to become successful. And if this campaign is successful, I think I can honestly say we all win because basically, if we win, then everyone will be able to enjoy better catch for the years to come, right?
there will be more abundance and anyway. So thank you. We'll just pause for a short break and we'll be right back.
This break is brought to you by Angkas, Beat the Traffic, Bayad Center, hashtag Bigger Better Younger Bayad, and you can buy it all. Globe, atin ang mundo. Meralco, ang liwanag ng bukas. SM, we've got it all for you. Smart, live more today. Union Bank, it starts with you.
Tune in to Daily Tribune's show aimed at addressing the needs and problems of our OFWs from different corners of the globe. Hear about their plights and success stories every Tuesday and Thursday, 3 p.m. only on Daily Tribune's Facebook page and Tribune Now on YouTube. Straight Talk dives deep into pressing issues of leadership, politics, business, and more. Engage in insightful conversations with industry shakers, government leaders, and trailblazers every Wednesday at 10 a.m. only here on Daily Tribune's Facebook page and Tribune Now in YouTube.
And we're back on Pairfect, still talking about seafood and sustainability with Marco and Morisqua and Anna Oposa. So, it seems like, is this initiative fairly new? Something like this partnership? I mean, I haven't heard of anything like it, actually.
Something.
Yeah, I think, well, in recent years, there have been more conversations about sustainable seafood. And there was like a sustainable seafood festival and conference that's happened in the Philippines.
Mhm.
But in terms, for us, at least in the Philippines, this is our first time to partner with a seafood company. So that's what's exciting because we all love to eat seafood.
Yeah, that's true. Anna, h- how has it been for you since you started Save Philippine Seas? What's the situation now?
You know, I started when I co-founded Say Philippines. I had just graduated college, and I remember at that time, if you say you're gonna bring your reusables, if you say you want to talk about sustainability or pursue sustainability,
Mhm.
parang weird ka or like hippie or pero ngayon cool na siya. It's now cool to. So I've
Actually.
seen the growth, and I'm really happy to have witnessed that. I remember before when I was in college and I would bring my own bag to the supermarket.
Mhm.
Nakita ako nung cashier na parang, why? Bakit ka may dalang sariling bag? And now I go to the supermarket and a lot of people have their own. So it's really exciting to see. Nakikita natin na umiiba talaga yung consciousness ng mga Pilipino. And there's a global movement
Yes.
for sustainability.
I agree. I think we need more of that actually. There's still a lot more work to be done. And what other things do you think can we do to increase awareness on sustainability and how people can engage and participate?
Yeah, there's this Venn diagram that we use,
Mm-hmm.
which we took from a marine scientist. And she said, Dr. Ayan Elizabeth said, now when you want to pursue like something that is something bigger than you have to ask 3 questions. What are you good at? What needs doing? And what brings you joy? So if you have the answer to all of those three, that's how you can contribute. And for me, it's I love like being with people. I love learning, and I feel like what needs to be done is like partnerships like this, where stakeholders of different backgrounds can talk and learn from each other. Because in the end, pareho naman tayo ng gusto. We all want to have healthy seas with abundant seafood and abundant resources. Para lahat tayo panalo.
Oh, agree. So now that you have this partnership or collaboration, how about Marco and Morris? What challenges do you foresee in implementing sustainable practices within the seafood supply chain? And how does cold storage seafood plan to address them?
I think in general, education is really important, and like what Anna said, educate the youth. But right now, it's easier with social media and everything, and information is more easily accessible. So given that, and plus now it's kind of cool
Yeah.
to want to save the environment. But earlier when we were talking, we realized that we've been doing this for well, 10 years, 15 years, back then it wasn't, like she said, it wasn't true back then, but we needed to do sustainable practices because it was the right thing to do. It was the practical thing to do to make sure that there's continuation from one generation to the other.
Mm.
So yeah, basically that's what we challenges because of the supply of seafood is going down worldwide. So we have to do our part. Yeah, we have to do our part to make sure that the next generation is able to enjoy what we are enjoying right now.
I'm sorry, I didn't quite catch that. What's decreasing or what's going down?
The volume of seafood
Ah,
around the
the
world.
volume. Okay. Wow. Okay. That's
From
serious.
the
Pretty serious.
during the 90s and compared to now,
Mm.
in general, the catching is steadily going down year by year.
Yeah, it's a question of food supply, right? All over the world,
Yes.
I think that's a something that governments are really facing today. So,
Traditionally, they have been very supportive with the sustainability and the overall future for the fishing sector. Yes.
see. Okay. So, well, you're in the business of supplying seafood around the country, and I think that the two of you under your management, the company grew. How did you achieve that? How did you grow your company? Even
Oh,
during times like this when supply is really becoming a challenge and things like that.
yeah. I think it's basically what my dad always instilled in us, which was, you have to make sure that there's whatever you do has to be sustainable. I always tell my brother, sustainability is always good for the business, but I think what's more important is, we're doing it for the next generation,
Right.
for the kids, for our kids, for their kids. Um, us enjoying it is one thing, but making sure that they enjoy it. So if
Mhm.
with that mindset, you partner with the right suppliers. You make sure that your suppliers do the right thing and they're marketing. So there's continuity.
Yeah, I really agree with that. Like, it's really a mindset change that needs to happen everywhere, right? From the business side to the consumer side. So,
It's easy. Yeah, it's easy to cut corners, but if you
mhm,
do, yeah, you win for the short term, but long term, everybody loses. So we really have to partner with the right people.
I agree. So, speaking of long term, what long term goals does Cold Storage Seafood hope to achieve through its partnership with Save Philippine
Uh,
Seas and vice
we're,
versa?
yeah, we're
Also,
planning
Anna.
to opening new cold storages all over the country
Hmm.
so that the local catch, during the catching season, we can do the process in our factory and then store it. Or during the close season, we can distribute to the market.
Okay.
Now,
And
with the Philippines, our goal is really to change behavior and change mindsets.
mhm,
We always say that our goal is to create a generation of proactive citizens, because we call
mhm.
our community as
See,
citizens.
very nice.
We want to remind people, especially Filipinos, that we're connected to the sea. Kasi tayo yung second largest archipelago in the world, pero marami pa rin sa atin that don't really appreciate
Mhm.
our marine biodiversity.
Yeah, I know. There's so much more to be done, I think. But so beyond this campaign, what ongoing initiatives or strategies does Save Philippine Seas have in place to continue promoting sustainable practices in the Philippines?
We have two ongoing projects. One is called Change the Current, which is our education program for public school teachers. We started that last year and we traveled Luzon, Visayas, Mindanao, teaching teachers about how to teach climate change in different
Mm-hmm.
subjects.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll be starting that in
Wow.
about a month. So that's exciting. The second cohort of public school teachers. And we've
Mm-hmm.
confirmed two places already that we're going to teach. And then another one is our Marine Little Learning Kit program, where we teach young people, children, community champions, teachers on marine litter, like what causes it and what they can do to reduce or eliminate it from their practices in their daily lives.
Wow, okay. That's good luck with that. I hope that it comes a success. And Anna, I was curious also. You've devoted practically your life to this advocacy. What
Yes.
drives you? What gives you that passion, that fire to do that?
On a personal level, I just love being in the water. I just came from 2 weeks of diving almost every day, and when I was underwater, I was thinking, wow, I really am so happy when I'm
In the
in
water.
this in the water. Well,
Mermaid,
fish
you're a mermaid talaga.
I'm really a mermaid with legs instead of fins. And I want other people to appreciate that, and I want other people to have that kind of experience and that
Mhm.
joy.
Mhm.
So that is what motivates me on an individual level, but on a collective level, I know this sounds cheesy, but I just really love being a Filipino, and I'm very proud to be Filipino. And part of that national identity and that love for country also means taking care of our marine resources. So you cannot be a proud Filipino citizen if you also don't know how to take care of our seas.
Right, it's a very simple thing to remember, right? And people need to be reminded all the time that you should love your own, right? So, for Marco and Morris naman, I really admire what you're doing now with this initiative, this partnership. Um, for you, being a young businessman and very successful at what you do, what is it that you would like to impart to our viewers in terms of doing good business and still being um, responsible? Can you share some words?
I think in general is being in business is one thing. It takes you from point A to point B, but it's more important is doing it with the right values, with the right moral compass. And I
Mhm.
think if we have that with the right values, you know, everything else will follow. Yeah.
Mhm.
So yeah, I think basically that's what me and my brother we always discuss that.
Mhm.
Um, it's so easy to do things using shortcuts and everything, but
Mhm.
you're not only cheating yourselves, you're also cheating your customers and your partners. So
Mhm.
um, it just doesn't work for us. So I think that's something that is very important to us, and that's basically what our dad told us to always have that in place.
I really like that. So thank you for having that, for sharing that with us. And now I think after such a short conversation, I still have a lot of questions, but for now, I would like to ask each of you for your parting shot or your message before we end the show until the next time we have a conversation again.
I think my parting words is just if you're interested to save the Philippines, please, you have to start with yourself and really ask yourself, what is it that I can do in my own way, in my own capacity, in my own resources, and you can start with that. It can be something as simple as buying seafood na you know where it comes from,
Right.
or bringing a reusable bag to the supermarket, and from there asking questions and being curious about the topics that you want to report on.
All right.
So for me, I think caring for the environment for the fish. We're not doing it for us. We're doing it for the next generation.
Mhm.
We are enjoying it right now, but we have to make sure that the next generation will be able to.
All right.
For me, it's just basically it's just responsible fishing, or so that we can still have fishes in the future.
Mhm. Okay. Thank you very much for your very inspiring words, and I hope that a lot of our viewers will take to heart your very valuable messages. So, thank you very much, Marco, Morris, and Anna, for joining us on Perfect. I hope to have another conversation with you again sometime soon. But for now, this has been Dina Ventura, and you have been watching Perfect.